believe that quarterbacks make the world go round for NFL franchises. I believe that if you have a great franchise quarterback or you find a generational talent at the quarterback position, that individual player could truly jumpstart your franchise. Obviously, offensive linemen matter. Obviously, you need your pass rushers to help that quarterback, get the football back. You need to get people off the field on third down. That definitely matters. You need linebackers. You need good wide receivers. But in reality, you can whiff on a defensive lineman. You can whiff on a wide receiver. You can whiff on a linebacker. You can't whiff on the quarterback. If you want to be a legit NFL franchise, you need to at least have a serviceable quarterback, okay? I mean, think about it. Ask Ryan Pace how much quarterbacks matter. Ryan Pace has done an excellent job of drafting linebackers, getting, really good defensive ends, safeties, wide receivers. He whiffed on Mitch Trubisky, and he took Mitch Trubisky in a draft with Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes in it. Ryan Pace in a couple of years might be out of a job because he whiffed on a franchise quarterback. John Elway, I give him credit. He did win a Super Bowl. He did, get Peyton Manning in the building. He signed Peyton Manning. But if you take away, John Elway's success with Peyton Manning, boy, has he whiffed on a lot of quarterbacks. And right now, it looks like he might have whiffed on Drew Lock. Drew Lock is really struggling in 2020. We'll see if he bounces back. But, man, listen. Seattle and Green Bay have whiffed on a lot of draft picks the last couple of years, and they haven't really been participating in free agency. But you want to know why those two teams are relevant? They're relevant because Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson are really talented. And Kyler Murray, quarterback right now for the Arizona Cardinals, he is really, really talented. And I said when Kyler Murray was coming out of Oklahoma that he was the best combination of a runner and thrower of the football that the draft had ever seen. I said that he was going to be better than Lamar Jackson, and I said he was going to be better than Michael Vick. I truly still firmly believe that as I speak today. And right now in 2020, Kyler Murray, he's on pace to throw for 4,000 yards and rush for 1,000 yards in 2020. Kyler Murray's a guy that never lost a game in high school. He's a guy that won a Heisman Trophy in college. He got Oklahoma to the playoffs. And Kyler Murray was the number one overall pick of the 2019 NFL draft. He was a generational talent, when he was coming out of the draft, at least in my opinion. I think that Kyler Murray is a darn good quarterback and a generational talent, okay? And keep in mind, Kyler Murray only put 1 year of legit tape on display at Oklahoma, and a lot of people thought that he was committed to baseball rather than football. And he still won number one overall. That shows you how good Kyler Murray is at football. I don't think people realize how high Kyler Murray's ceiling is. The sky's the limit for this guy. This guy is just now really starting to hone his skills, and I think that Kyler Murray could get even better and better from a processing standpoint, from a decision-making standpoint, and already right now, Kyler Murray is one of the best quarterbacks in all of football as I speak today in 2020, okay? He just won Rookie of the Year last year, and right now, he's a top 5 candidate for league MVP as I speak today. Kyler Murray right now might be a top 5 quarterback, Lamar Jackson, are you taking him or Kyler Murray right now? I honestly probably take Kyler Murray over Lamar Jackson just because I think Lamar Jackson might be to a certain degree, not progressing as well as some thought he would. And Kyler Murray is progressing. Deshaun Watson, he's struggling this year. Josh Allen, not quite as accurate as Kyler Murray. Tom Brady, Drew Brees, I like them a lot, but they're old. They're past their prime. Matthew Stafford, he's not winning football games at a consistent rate. You look at Carson Wentz, he's winning to the tank, and Dak Prescott, not nearly as talented as Kyler Murray. I mean, outside of Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, and Patrick Mahomes, who are you taking over Kyler Murray? I named some of the guys that you might consider taking over him. I think you can make the case that right now Kyler Murray projects to be better than them or is already better than them. And he's winning football games now. Arizona's probably going to make the playoffs more than likely if their team stays relatively healthy. And as I speak today, I'm going to make a bold statement. I believe that one day Kyler Murray is going to win the Arizona Cardinals a Super Bowl. Kyler Murray will win the Arizona Cardinals a Super Bowl. He's that good of a quarterback, and I think Arizona is moving in the right direction. And 5 to 10 years from now, when Kyler Murray wins the Arizona Cardinals a Super Bowl, and you think about this video, you're going to say, man, I should have thanked Jamon McKinney because he gave me this gym a long time ago before anyone saw the vision, okay? Now, some Cardinals fans might think the same way as I do, but I think a lot of people are, saying Kyler Murray is great, but they may not be willing to make the bold statement that I just made. I just said Kyler Murray is going to win the Cardinals a Super Bowl. Now, again, barring injury, maybe Kyler Murray gets hurt one day, and unfortunately his career might get shortened, but as long as Kyler Murray stays relatively healthy, I believe Arizona's gonna win a Super Bowl with them as their starting quarterback one day, okay? Right now, Arizona is among one of the best teams in all of football. They're gonna make the playoffs more than likely in 2020, and next year, they still have a real chance to add to their defense. They still can get some more draft picks that can contribute to their team. Maybe, Isaiah Simmons continues to develop. Chandler Jones comes back next year. And Kyler Murray is still on his rookie contract. The Arizona Cardinals still have all the flexibility in the world to sign free agents and to bring in new guys. They're not in a bad cap situation from a salary standpoint, okay? And you look at the Arizona Cardinals window right now. I mean, of course, you got to go through the NFC West division. But let's take into account that Drew Brees is probably not going to be playing over the next 2 to 3 seasons. He might retire after this year. Drew Brees is not playing, another 5 years. Tom Brady, he's not playing another 5 years. Both those guys could be out of the NFL by the end of the 2021 season. Aaron Rodgers, I like him a lot, but Aaron Rodgers, he's only getting older, okay? Do you really trust the Philadelphia Eagles over the Arizona Cardinals in regards to the future of their team? I think that Arizona is in a great situation as their quarterback, Kyler Murray, is more talented than Carson Wentz, and he's trending upward. Meanwhile, Carson Wentz is on the downward trend, getting worse and worse. And those contracts in Philadelphia, boy, are they a mess. So really, all you're left with is the Seahawks, the Rams, and the 49ers. I get those teams are very good, but Seattle right now, their roster is not a complete roster. They rely way too much on Russell Wilson. The LA Rams are good, but I'd rather have Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray over Sean McVay and Jared Goff. That's just my cup of tea. And the 49ers, I don't know what their quarterback situation is going forward. And even if Jimmy Garoppolo returns next year, he's not nearly as talented as Kyler Murray. As far as I'm concerned, the 49ers are the odd man out in that division because they're not dynamic enough at quarterback. And I really am a big believer in Steve Keim. Steve Keim is the Arizona Cardinals general manager. He's been the GM ever since 2013. And I know a lot of people are, kind of getting on the Steve Keim bandwagon because of Arizona's success this year. But let's not forget, a couple of seasons ago, back in 2015, the Arizona Cardinals were in the NFC title game facing the 15-1 Carolina Panthers. They were one game away from the Super Bowl. Steve Keim has the vision of what this team needs in order to be a Super Bowl contending team. In fact, he got a lot of pushback for moving on from former top 10 overall pick Josh Rosen. A lot of people crush Steve Keim for that. But guess what? He made the right move because Josh Rosen, he's currently on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers practice squad, and Kyler Murray, he might win league MVP this year. He's on the upward trend. Josh Rosen, he might not even be in the NFL over the next couple of seasons if he doesn't get things together, okay? And you look at Cliff Kingsbury. A lot of people criticize Steve Keim for bringing in Cliff Kingsbury. They said, Cliff Kingsbury, what are you doing? Cliff Kingsbury, he didn't win enough games in college. I think Cliff Kingsbury is working pretty well right now. Arizona's got a solid running game. They've got very dynamic weapons. Right now, DeAndre Hopkins is arguably the best wide receiver in all of football. And as long as Arizona can continue to add to their defense and their offensive line, they'll be straight. They'll be ready to go, man. And they have the money to do so because they're not tied to Kyler Murray long term yet on a big, lofty contract. Arizona is moving in a great direction. And right now, outside of Patrick Mahomes, outside of Russell Wilson, and outside of Aaron Rodgers, I don't know which quarterback I'm taking over Kyler Murray. Maybe Deshaun Watson, maybe Lamar Jackson. That's about it. Maybe Josh Allen. That's about it, people. That really is about it. Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert are pretty good, but they're not quite as physically gifted as Kyler Murray. Justin Herbert has the big time arm, but he's not the dynamic scrambler and runner of the football that Kyler Murray is. And for what it's worth, Kyler Murray has got a pretty big arm himself, okay? I truly believe Kyler Murray is a generational talent. I knew Kyler Murray would be special when he came out of Oklahoma, and I truly believe that one day Kyler Murray will win the Arizona Cardinals a Super Bowl. You heard it here first. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juice Alert Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juice Alert Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.